If you're looking for a low-cost side hustle idea, then you can look at earthworms, because we started with a packet of earthworms and grew it into a commercial business. And we're going to show you how we did it step by step so that you can do it too. And it literally started with a packet of earthworms like this. We bought it from somebody, and then we just made a box from recycled billboard material. So we didn't pay for this. And then the box looks like this. It's just a simple box with a lid. Then we would grind food waste up in a blender and then make it into a puree and then feed it to the earthworms like this in rows. And then we would harvest the vermicompost by hand, quite simple, low cost. And then we would bag the vermicompost in simple bags as well that we painted our logo on. And then we would deliver the bags and then take the bags back. So it wasn't a high cost. And this vermicompost customers use in vegetable gardens, and we're seeing really good results. So we started scaling up our system, and we made 2 more containers that were just made from like an old pool pump cover or something, also recycled, so it didn't cost us anything. And then worms did really well in here, but then we needed more food waste, so we would go and collect food waste from households in the area and then feed that to the earthworms so that they could grow. And eventually it was quite a lot, so we made this blender to grind the food waste up into puree to make it faster to compost. And then that was working quite well, so we scaled the system up even more. We made a flow-through worm bin using recycled wood. It didn't cost too much. It did have some expense, but it wasn't too much. And then we would feed the worms on the top, and then the vermicompost would fall through the bottom. This didn't work too well, and because we had put some mushroom compost in it, which killed all the worms because it got too hot. But we learned our lesson, and then we started a new in-ground system to keep the worms more in a natural environment. Then that worked quite well, so we built another one, also in-ground, and then we would feed the food waste to that. Worms did extremely well in this. Then we realized we can turn it into a commercial operation. So we started doing it more carefully. We brought them indoors and did them in containers so we could control things a bit better. And these containers also don't cost too much. You can use an old bin, an old tote, or any buckets that are lying around the house that you're not using anymore. And that's what we did. It worked well. Then we realized this is working really well. Then we started scaling up into a more professional system so that we could optimize the production. This is where some expenses came in, but by now we already had a lot of revenue, which was paying for this system. This worked well, so we needed even more space, so we did these three trays on the left to expand the system even more. And of course that worked well, so we expanded on the other side of the room. We did more trays, and we built the shelving system ourselves. We used mainly wood that was lying around, that was from old building material. We don't care too much about how it looks, because then you have a lot of expenses. We care about it being practical for use and optimizing the production. That worked well, so we needed even more space, so then we started renting a farm, and we moved the worms to the farm, expanded it even more, and now we have plans to even do more than that, because we are seeing such strong demand for our worms that we need to be increasing our production. So you can also get started like this. You can purchase a box of worms on our website, and then you can also follow the same steps that we did. We just built it step by step. Worms keep growing, and eventually you can get to a commercial business. So you can go ahead on our website, look at the different options for worms, and then you can choose which one meets your budget to get started. And then we will also guide you along the way. We will add you to a private WhatsApp group where there are other people also trying to learn how to do this. And then we are there answering any questions. We'll support you through the journey. And we've been farming for 8 years, so we've gained a lot of knowledge about the business. And so we're working on a course that will teach you all about worm farming business. It will cover marketing, pricing, how to sell it, how to package, how to ship it, what do customers want. And so we want you to succeed. It's an easy side hustle to start. All you need to do is go and order your earthworms to get started.